I've had an almost morbid fascination with anything and everything paranormal, especially those things that venture into the darkest recesses of our primal fears and spark the thoughts that for most would be the stuff of nightmares. In 2007, this fascination, along with some unexplainable experiences, led me to start a paranormal research team known today as Everyday Legacy Paranormal. Then in 2011, a road trip led myself and a close friend into the darkest places we had ever been. That was the beginning of Road Trip Paranormal. Now, while still active with them, I no longer lead either of those teams, but the people that make them up are the best friends a guy like me could ask for. Myself, along with Jason, Leo, Rose, and Michelle are reaching out to share our passions for everything odd, fringe, and paranormal with the world. We are Cryptic Heartland.
And here we are. Caught Leo off guard there.
I should have bet.
You should have, man.
I know.
Could have been a rich man.
Welcome to the Cryptic Heartland podcast, where nothing's off the table, everything is fair game, and we're not afraid to poke the bear.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, and my camera's froze up. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Just you?
I guess that's what I get, huh?
Yep.
Look at it.
When you disturb the force with your curveball, that's what happens.
I hope everyone doing good this Labor Day weekend.
Good.
I'm going to see if I can't get my camera straightened out here. You guys go ahead.
I got jokes.
Keep talking.
All right. Well, this is episode 57 of the Cryptic Heartland podcast. And it's Labor Day weekend. Hopefully everybody at home's having fun.
Yeah, hopefully we get some storms.
Storms?
Yeah, it's all stormy outside.
Lot
There we go. That's better.
But yeah, tonight's show's gonna be just whatever the fuck we feel like doing because we can. So I mean, you never know when Rose might break out in song or possibly fart. And
wow. Yeah. Well.
As long as it's musical, that's all we have. So,
nothing but tenor over here.
Soprano. Anyways, this is the podcast. And people at home, make sure you like and subscribe to our page. Turn on Turn on.
Like,
That's the part you rub your nipples. Turn on notifications. That way you can see when we go live. You never know when it's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I know why. Follow our YouTube page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow our Facebook pages. Yes.
And for you cowards just commenting at home, call in, be brave, be part of the show. Come on. You're not cowards. We appreciate you guys tuning in week in and week out. Couldn't do this without you. We could, but we're gonna.
It's more fun.
We're gonna do it with or without you. I'm kidding. But so, anyways, yeah. I don't know. What is up? Anybody? Everybody?
Oh.
Let's start out with some questions from people.
What questions you
You
got?
know, text us some questions. Let's go. I'm ready.
Well, first and foremost, we got storms out in northwest Kansas, so any of our viewers are out there, there's some tornado warnings, so stay safe.
There is.
Wow.
Yeah, there's 3 of them out there right now.
Oh, I did not know that.
And back to you, Leo.
Back to you, fuckers.
Thank you for that weather report, Dan. Dan the weatherman.
Yeah, good call.
We need to put you on a green screen and blowing in the wind. This just in. And Dan, we lost Dan. Sorry.
It's just in.
Oh, thanks, Dollar. Straight up the old nose.
Better than somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anywho. So, Jason, you gonna comment anytime soon? Or are you alive?
I'm just listening to you guys.
So, anyways, no, we had a fun show last week. We're gonna have a fun show this week. Obviously, we already started off right, and yeah, I don't know. We've been busy this week, brainstorming, doing things, going out, filming just for fun and whatnot, and just whatever we can think of. lot of behind the scenes work to make this show possible and the next one. And got some big things coming up in the future. A lot of good things.
Tons of things
Yeah.
happening.
Next year's gonna be crazy.
This
It is.
year's
What's that?
See Cheryl's comment?
What's that?
Uh-oh.
That was on road.
Why me?
Because you're the one that's supposed to get turned on, or you already were turned on.
Yeah,
so.
you're rubbing things.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
She went, bow, chicka, wow. There, Leo.
Wow.
Pretty soon it's going to
When the
be
lights go down.
the swanky music. Cue swanky music, and Rose starts.
Go break
Come on,
it.
Rose.
Banana,
All of a sudden he tears away his shorts and
Wow.
banana,
hammock full swing.
No.
Yes, please don't. This is a family program. Sort of.
Yes, it is.
Is it though? Anyways. All right. So what the hell's been going on in the world of the world? Anything?
It's been quiet.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
been quiet. Haven't had
really-
any crazy things come up on the internet. It's been pretty quiet this week.
Yep, definitely. So you're saying it's quiet?
It's quiet.
Quiet.
It's real quiet.
No. And the man right here next to us has been gone for a couple weeks from the show, man.
I'm back from vacation.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Where'd you go?
I went to several places. Started out in Branson. Went over there. Had to do the Titanic Museum. Check that thing out.
Been there twice. Love it.
Neat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This
Then-
is all about Dan right now.
Mhm.
No. He's been there twice.
No,
Dan show.
It's
We
Dan
could
show.
talk about the good
Yeah.
stuff
It's
there.
Dan show.
Went on to Eureka Springs after that to celebrate a little bit of our anniversary and to check out some cool places over there. Eureka Spring is awesome.
Nice.
Historical. Wow, it's just crazy. Went to the Crescent. Stayed in the hotel, the Palace Hotel and Bathhouse.
You stayed for the bathhouse part.
Stayed in the bathhouse. The bathhouse was awesome. Thank you, Jane and Danelle and
Well, wow.
yeah, they treated us well there. They love us. Open invite for the whole team to come out here soon, so that's going to be fun. We'll see how that works out.
Cool.
Beyond that, of course, shirt I'm wearing now. Went to Galveston after that for 3 more days. Did some historical tours and walkabouts in Galveston. Checked some things out.
What'd you think of Galveston?
Well, the first time we went down to Galveston, loved it. But I was so enthralled in the history and the happenings in the last 130, 140 years.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the actual city.
Town.
The town, the city, the area is beautiful. The people are a little bit less than desirable. I don't know. The people are, for the most part, decent, but man, it's just.
What do you mean by decent? Like, are just meaning their spirituality, the way they treated you, the way.
Well, sure. No, they treated us for the most part with respect,
Yeah.
but
Sorry, man. I just was wondering. I mean, I stumped you, huh?
yeah.
Mic drop.
It's kind of hard to throw that out there without being, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
no, it just wasn't the vibe that I thought. I mean, I thought it was going to be more historical, and the people were going to be all about the history of the city, and a lot of people were out there just for the money and the dime, and it's just they're not there to pay homage to the history, and I'm all about the history, and the sacrifice that people made that lived there, 130 years ago. So you don't see that for most down there.
So I got a question for. What was the age group that you saw mostly?
Mid-20s, 20 to 30.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. And I know
Yeah.
we're probably getting way, way off subject here, but I've noticed that a lot too.
He
Is
does that.
the younger generation, they're not into the history
No,
like we were,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we are
Welcome to
now.
Wichita.
And
exactly.
it's just
It sucks around here.
It's a lot different
Yeah.
now. It really is.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
most of the
sad.
people doing the tours and the running the historical society down there are kids, and they're just there to draw the $10 and $15 entry fee, and then just blah 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 blah. Talk about the story and the history, but they're not feeling the history, and it's heartbreaking.
They get that blank look in their
Yeah.
face, and
They're just reading
yeah.
the monologue. That's it.
Yeah, when I do the ghost tour, I'll see that. The
Yeah.
younger the crowd, they just kind of stare at you, or they start looking at the ceiling of the bus, or looking, they're texting and
Right.
stuff. And I'm trying, older crowd, our age and stuff like that,
They feel
they're
it.
getting the
Yes,
history. They
yes.
love it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
But that was the biggest thing about the disappointment in Galveston. Of course, Eureka Springs is an older crowd, and those guys
Yeah.
down there, they're passionate about the history of their city, and so that's what I enjoyed that. May not be the next time I go because I'm going to go deeper into it, but I mean, yeah. So yeah, it was cool.
you got a cool pic with the Ghostbuster car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. That was in Branson, yeah.
I did too. It's right here. I'm just kidding.
Exactly, that's it too. I was hoping it was the old '59 hearse, but
Yeah.
finding that one is a rough one to find. But no, it's the old '76 Caddy. I'm good with that. Yeah,
It's not bad. It was cool.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Definitely. That's awesome.
So what was your thoughts on? Now you said you went to go try and see the face there at the university.
Yeah, in Galveston, it's a one-way street that runs behind the medical school, and they don't allow you, unless you're parking in your faculty, they don't let you park back in that area. So we tried to walk in there, and security was just bugging about it. They just won't let you walk in there.
You want to tell them what the face is about, and
Well, I haven't read the whole story on it, and I
Yeah.
tried to get a little bit into it, but on the back of the dorms and actually the actual hospital, a female apparently was either thrown or fell out of the window at one time.
I heard
And-
she was like attacked or whatever.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Attacked,
Yeah,
and then
But-
her face imprinted into the building.
and it's pretty large
It's very
imprint. I
large.
mean, it's not just a tiny little. It's huge.
Yeah, several windows wide, and
Yeah.
and they've painted the building. They've
Sandblast. They cleaned it, tried to get her
blasted
off.
it,
Yeah.
and it just keeps coming back. So.
Isn't that crazy?
I've never heard that before. That's crazy.
No, somewhere I don't know. I probably
Look,
don't know
it's
where
on
it's
the
at, but
internet.
I've got a postcard of it.
Yeah.
It's on postcards of the face and all that. You could
Wow.
probably find it. Google it and find it.
Yeah, you can see it on there.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
There's
yeah,
somebody
it's
who does that.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting story.
But once
It's just the fact
again,
they
you get there
can't.
and there's no face.
Well, the face is that we couldn't get back there far enough.
They won't let you go back there.
Oh, really?
The face is always there, supposedly.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah, I
You
want
weren't
to go
listening
taking
to
a
the
helicopter
story.
ride.
Yes,
Never
right.
is.
I was like, I had a 20-year-old moment.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
No,
Sorry, what year?
the
20,
What age?
29.
You
29.
mean senior moment?
Oh yeah, senior moment.
No, it's the face that it won't disappear.
it?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Never
But-
heard of that before or seen that before.
Yeah, they've put it on postcards. My buddy of mine went down there and he grabbed that for me to bring it home and show it to me.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, I would like to have seen it in person, but
Now I think about it, I think even he said they couldn't go back there and look
Yeah.
at it. That was the only way he could see it and show me.
I'm gonna try to send it to Jeremiah real fast.
Yeah,
yeah,
So it's on the back of the building?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
in
Like
the-
if you're going to
behind and in corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you take the Point Bever Ferry Road, you can go.
Hey, you
by
know that road? Ferry Road?
Ferry Road. Yeah, you've been there. Yeah. You take that road. You
Sorry, you're so rudely interrupted, Dan.
you head back to the school, the hospital, and you can either go in the parking lot or follow this to the faculty parking lot. But yeah, they stop you. They don't let you in there. So. We tried. We did. We tried. We tried to walk in there.
Still couldn't get through.
didn't cause a
Security or-
distraction and run past security.
I
And,
was trying to make the wife do that, Dana.
Now, Danny, you're gonna go to jail, okay? But I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the space out. So,
Yeah, yeah.
cause a diversion. Ready? Go.
pull that fire alarm, run.
That would have
There's
worked.
got to be a
See,
way
come
back
on,
there.
man.
Wow.
There's got to be a way back there.
What a problem is.
Or,
People do it. People take pictures. I mean,
Yeah.
somehow you get back there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then of course, other things we did down in Galveston. Of course, we went to Walmart just to see if we can.
Oh, look, what's so special about Walmart? Right, you talked
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, it's the haunted Walmart.
Yeah.
The original location of the orphanage of 1900 that got washed away with the hurricane and all the children and the nun sides. So we walked back here in the electronics and the toy area and tried to. Dana believes she felt somebody touch her leg, which was kind of cool, but I didn't feel anything. It's horrible. But
You didn't get groped up and all that?
no, I didn't
Okay.
get groped at all there. I tried. No, they're children. That would have been
I
bad.
know.
But no, yeah, it was neat. I mean, the hospitals or the Walmart's pretty neat. Again, it was run down, but man, they're swamped. I mean, they have thousands of people through there a week. So, visitors, not the regulars.
Well, plus the history, and everybody wants to see it
Yeah,
and hear it
it
now.
really does. Then, of course, Hotel Galvez. I had to go check that out. Yeah.
Is that the one that you were videotaping live?
No, we'll go back to Eureka Springs later.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
get Galveston
All right.
out of the way.
I got you. So we're on a map and we're right here. We're not there.
We're
yet.
way
right
down here
Okay.
in the coast right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Galvez Hotel, of course, it's got its own hauntings. The hotel is actually built after the Great Storm of 1900, but they had a woman that was there, and she supposedly was waiting for her beau to come back from. He was out on a fish
Her
boat.
beau?
Her beau, her boyfriend, her husband, to-be husband.
Like boo.
Bae.
Waiting for your
Her
boo.
bae.
Her bae.
Your bae.
We'll give you 20-something language.
Yeah, there you go. There's lingo.
But yeah, her boat was out there fishing, and he was supposed to be back like 3 weeks earlier, and his boat got sank. So she took it that he drowned as well with everybody else, and so she went up to the bell tower, hung herself, and
Wow.
yeah, at the tower, beautiful tower too, and he came back 2.5 weeks later, I think, 3 weeks later, and found out she had died, and apparently he had killed himself as well. And so now they both walk the halls on the 5th floor. Yeah.
Are y'all ready for this picture to go
Yeah,
up?
Sure,
Or?
let's get a picture up.
Absolutely.
So Dan was talking about the building, the woman in space on the side of the building. A few minutes ago down in Galveston.
See, I mean, look how huge that is.
So why is it so big on there? I missed that part of the story.
Don't-
I was expecting
I
a
don't-
little
I don't think they know.
size space.
They
Yeah.
don't know anything. It just keeps appearing.
And they've
they
painted
tried
over
to
it,
do
they've-
everything to sandblast it, clean it, and wash it, and
Yeah, they've whitewashed it.
And it's not just something that,
It's just not like an illusion matrix scene.
Like, yeah, like a Matrix.
I mean, as far
They've
as,
taken pictures at different angles. I've seen several different pictures of it.
but it does look like a.
It does.
I mean, it's.
I give you guys that. I just didn't understand the whole.
Now they've also seen the
Think about
woman in the windows, looking out the windows. They do have pictures of her looking out windows too.
Wow.
But yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, if they had, I mean, if we knew who she was, if we did, and there was a picture of her, do comparison. I'm sure they've done that.
Yeah, I do have a book coming from Galveston. I haven't got it yet.
Right.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I've never heard that before. You guys are talking about it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I only
That's-
found out from a buddy of mine. So.
Right?
I was like-
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like it's I don't know, maybe the impact of what happened,
Right.
and supposedly it won't go away, or the legend and how people have created the story.
Right.
They think it's her unrested soul that's still looking for the person who did it,
Yeah.
killed her.
Wow.
Supposedly.
Wow.
Time to break out
That's
some
wild.
EVPs and
I'm sure people have done it or tried.
I'm pretty sure they
you
have.
know.
Yeah.
wow.
But yeah, Galveston on that side, it was really fun. I mean, we enjoyed it. Went down to the Strand, which is part of the original, downtown of the whole place, and it's crazy. So much history down there. They got guided tours down there. We didn't go on the guided tour. We kind of followed it just to see what he was talking about.
Talking about the guitars from what 80s band that was?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's a little out there, but it was fun to watch. I mean, it was. We got to listen to him a little bit, and then we just parted ways and did our own thing. So yeah,
Nice. One of our viewers, Stephanie, had a question about if you had any kind of experiences. If you mentioned she missed out part about anything in the hotels. I didn't even talk about the main ones yet, but
Yeah, well, in Galveston, yes, in the Galvez, more downtown on the Strand, the Treedmont, we just walked through it. Again, it was rebuilt after the storm, but there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on down there. The Strand itself, walking down there on the bricks, it is crazy down there. The energy that you get from the buildings itself. We went into a couple antique shops and talking to the young lady that worked in there. Well, actually, she wasn't young. She's probably in her 60s, but there was
He's having another senior moment over there.
yeah.
you listen to Backstreet Boys again. Do it on your own time.
I'm like, it's off. The volume, and
Volume's
it's
off?
still.
Still playing? Crazy. Go through your hearing aid, probably. It's a rough crowd here tonight. No,
That's funny.
the Strand, though, I mean, it is really cool. There's a
Ruth.
one antique mall that we went to down there, and the lady was talking, and I'm like, talking to her, and said, well, what do you... I was talking to her about the spirit in the back top of it used to be, she was mentioning some kind of theater. It's long, probably 14 feet wide, probably 110 feet deep shop, and then it had an upper deck. And I asked her about the spirit that stayed up in the back. She goes, well, what makes you think there's a spirit back here? And I said, well, I felt it. I mean, you can feel the energy.
Right.
And she goes, well, is it a male or female? I'm like, well, I believe it's a female. And then she started breaking down in tears and telling me the whole story about it. It's like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, yeah, it was crazy. So, and she was telling me that there's two gentlemen that stay up in the backside. They're twins, and they're into voodoo stuff, she said, which I don't know anything about voodoo, but
Yeah.
they've been trying to force her out of there for years, and the spirit protects her. So it's a female that was, killed. She showed me where. What was this last hurricane they just had? Andrew?
Down there?
Was it Hurricane Andrew, 2008?
Oh, jeez.
I'll have to look real quick. I don't remember off the top of my head.
She was showing me where the water line was. It was about 12 feet in her shop.
Wow.
And showing me where they had to repaint the paint. She said that she stayed in the very back in the upstairs the whole time while I was doing it. The water's 4 feet below her.
Oh,
And
man.
yeah, she stayed up there, and the spirit protected her, so which is kind of cool. And,
Was that Harvey?
It was Hurricane Harvey. You're right. Yeah,
Okay.
2008.
12 feet high flooding.
Yeah, and down
Wow.
the Strand area. Yeah,
Wow.
That's scary.
yeah. So that was an interesting place too, and she was fun to talk to. She sent us over to her adopted family. She adopted these kids that run this place called the Witchery down there, and it's another building was built in 1867 or 1868, and just so much history down there. Just everything's limestone. Just it's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds so nice. So cool. I wish I could go someday. One of these days, maybe.
We will.
Why can't you?
10 drive, man.
That's a long drive.
Well, there's 4 of us right here. 5 of us. We can all take an hour and a half each. We're good to go.
I'd do it. I'd love to do it right now, but
Yeah.
Okay, show's over.
yeah, let's go. We're going to Galveston.
We still got 2 days. Let's go.
Let's take Jeremiah's truck.
Hey.
That's not going to get us very far right now. That's sorry.
That was rude on you.
Unless you want to help me out with getting it fixed.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think we just
I'm in.
volunteered.
Yeah, I think
offered my
he just
tire.
volunteered for that, didn't he?
Yeah,
You
Yes, you
did.
did.
You offered tire?
Yeah.
Allison or bust. Let's go.
I mean, I can do the work if you just pay for it.
Oh, I'm in.
Wow.
I agree, Stephanie. We do.
Oh.
She says, "Need it. We need it. Go." We need to go. Oh, this should talk about the tire thing.
Right.
I was like, we need Jeremiah. Go for it. That's a good offer. She means we're going to go to Galveston. I got you. No, that's cool. Yep.
Yeah, it's an interesting place, but I did fall in love with Eureka Springs, so Galveston
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just an ex-girlfriend now. Sorry.
So, speaking of Eureka Springs,
Yeah.
what went on in Eureka Springs? That was the hot spot of the trip, I think.
I think
for you.
so.
Eureka.
Eureka.
And this is, we talked about it before you went down there a bit. We mentioned
Yeah.
the Ghost Hunters episode, which we'll play the video here in a little while about
Oh, did
that
I?
video and stuff.
I don't know
And
if I have that on my phone. I would
What's
have sent that to Jeremiah, the picture
Oh,
down in
gotcha.
the basement. Eureka Springs, wow. Magical. We went down there, of course, for anniversary, and we wanted to stay down there and enjoy ourselves, and which we
Mhm.
did. But one of the biggest things I wanted to do while we were there is hit up the Crescent because, of course, been on TV,
sure.
proclaimed the America's most haunted hotel, and so I wanted to see for myself, see what kind of energy this place had.
Right.
And when Norman Baker, this crazy doctor that took this place over and made this cancer cure, it was just something cool to see. I wanted to see it all, but yeah, the hype was not what it played out to be. I mean, I there's a lot there. Wow.
I was gonna help you spit it out.
Yeah, I need some help there.
Quick,
It
give him
was-
out the mouth. Oh, he's not.
No.
I thought, sorry.
It was a very interesting place. I mean, but for them to proclaim that they're the most haunted hotel in America when they have 4 documented hauntings. I've been to 3 places myself already that of course, I haven't been there day in and day out for the
Right.
last 300 days. But, we go to the one we have downtown here.
I was just gonna say they've got the Broadview here.
Broadview is
Mhm.
twice as energized as this place.
Yeah.
And, just because several hundred people died in this place, don't mean there's several hundred ghosts.
Right.
And, they have Thelma. She's in one room.
Is
And
Louise there?
I knew it. I was waiting for it.
well, no. They have
If you didn't say it, I'd say it.
I wasn't gonna say.
one of the original spirits of the place. His name is Michael, and he was an Irish immigrant that fell off when they were building the building, and he got killed.
Oh, wow.
And then they have the mysterious woman in room 3500.
It was good to show a
And
picture
pause.
on.
Not-
It was good to show a picture on camera live, and
The Crystal Palace? No, it's called the Crescent Crescent Hotel. Yeah, it's called the Crescent. But then they had the Michael, and then they had the room 3500, which is a female in a white dress. Of course, every hotel has one of them. They did have some interesting pictures that they showed us, which, of course, we can't find anywhere on the internet. But it was a very interesting picture.
You said he-
A woman in a nightgown, and half of her face was missing, like a cancer patient, possibly.
Mhm.
A couple apparently sat up and took the picture when they were in bed,
Oh, wow.
and this spirit has been known to watch over people sleeping in bed and
Mhm.
watch them and stuff like that.
Creepy.
But very creepy. The picture's creepy, but of course, you can't find it anywhere. And
Where'd you see it at? Is it there?
they
or,
had it
okay.
there. They have, just like in Lawrence, where they had that one picture.
Oh, the
up-
Eldridge?
Yeah,
In
the
Lawrence?
Eldridge.
Mhm.
They have the picture up front that you can look at. They, of course, had a picture like that. And the tour guide carries a book with the pictures and evidence that they hand out to the tour. If this evidence was real, which, I mean, I'm not going to say it is or it isn't, but man, if that picture is real, it should be publicized everywhere because, man, just like with Sir No Face, I mean, that thing would prove or disapprove spirits tomorrow. But who knows? It was a cool picture.
Wonder why they haven't.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that would just add to their publicity and marketing if that's what they want
Right.
to do.
Right.
Was it in a certain room?
3,500.
3,500?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm going to keep looking here.
Yeah. And then the other spirit, of course, is the one that was caught on Ghost Hunters,
Yeah.
and that was found down in the morgue. That's their fourth haunt in the place. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. There's a fifth one. There's a small boy that plays on the second floor with the ball. And I did forget about that one. But he was the son of one of the teachers during the school girl academy. But so there's 5 spirits, and of course one in the basement. Very cool, picture that Ghost Hunters had, and I enjoyed that picture and everything. But man, just reading into it, they're showing that it's a Confederate soldier.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel.
It looks Confederate or like someone who worked in the coal mine or something.
Right.
It had a specific looking hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then with that, the hotel wasn't even finished until 1886. Didn't even become a hospital until 1940 something. So I mean, could it have been, an old soldier? It could have been. I mean, an old soldier died from cancer in the hospital, of course.
Mhm.
But man, I don't know. Did I get a lot of feeling from the building? There's some energy there.
There's that.
Yeah, there's that picture.
There's the
from
photograph.
basement.
That's a still shot of the video that Jason and Grant on Ghost Hunters captured.
Yeah, you can
We're
see a
gonna
full
play the
color
video.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play the video here in a
Mhm.
little while, but yeah, I mean, you can see definite. Now, I still don't know why the 2 is hot
I don't even.
and
It's
the
just paint.
figure is cold looking.
Yeah, it was just paint on the cabinet.
Like I said, I've always raised a question about that because the 2 is physically there on the locker itself.
Yeah.
So that's a given. But the figure, this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around it. It's behind the 2. It should be in front of the 2
Right.
in theory. Or if it's going to block it out, you can see it should be kind of blue also with the number, but it's not. It's coming through. It doesn't fit proportionally.
Well, by looking at the area, and I did look at that
Right.
and investigate, where the cabinet is, right behind it is a 2x4 wall with one side that's sheetrock, the other side is bare. So the wall looks possibly built after the fact, possibly.
Right. Right.
Could have been, because the room, they claimed this whole area down below was autopsy rooms and the morgue.
More, yeah, I was going to say.
This room that this is in was maybe 8 foot by 10 feet. It was small.
Right.
So, yeah, it would have to, the walls may not have been there at that point.
So I mean, just
If
looking
it's
at it,
if it's a standard, did you get a look at the wood in that 2x4 wall? Did it look?
It's modern.
It's
there's
modern,
windows.
modern cut and everything. So yeah, it most likely wasn't then.
Right.
But that picture though, it's on a locker, isn't it? Like an actual lock, like some kind of metallic box or something that
Yeah.
2's on, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying though. You can't. Is the ghost standing in the locker itself? That's why it's behind the 2.
It could be,
That
because
doesn't make sense. I mean, as far
Right.
as
because
the
the thermal is not X-ray,
right.
So
well,
it's,
that's true too. Yeah.
so I mean, it's not going to be seeing what's inside.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
showing something on the front,
Right.
but the 2 that's red hot is blocking the shoulder.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the 2 is actually on the shoulder, but it's not in real life.
They,
Yeah.
they also, when they were trying to debunk that footage, didn't they throw out the possibility of
yeah, I know.
reflection?
Right.
Right, yeah.
I
They
can't
show
remember
it
what they.
Yeah, it's
You
in the
can't see
video.
it. You can't
Is
see
it in the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't
cool.
see reflection, and they even showed their hands in front of the camera, like the
Mhm.
thermal itself, and it glows white hot like it should.
Right.
Which that 2's glowing kind of in the corner. You can see it kind of glowing white hot.
Yeah.
hmm
But that imagery, that the entity itself is obviously colder. It's blue, so that kind of gives a little bit more credibility.
Right.
And they say nobody was down there with a hat on with them, because they obviously have a crew.
Right,
recording
right.
them, but no, they didn't turn around and pan around the room, of course. So you take it for what it is. And this was on season 2,
Yeah.
where they were a little bit more raw. I mean, the acting's terrible. That's how raw it is.
Right, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So they weren't polished
Season
yet.
2 even, you know.
They weren't polished yet, and you know,
Bonnie?
to me the evidence is
It
more
looks to me
credible
like
back
it is,
then.
yeah.
'cause
Right.
It's not as produced. So
You can
maybe.
sit there too.
But just like where the head is, like if you look at the locker itself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the figure is very tiny,
Yeah.
very up in the corner of the freaking.
Well, I did.
You know,
I took a
it's
picture
just
beside
weird.
the cabinet. By looking at this, this would be about 6'2",
Wow.
because my shoulder was touching about the center of the two. So put him another 2 inches, maybe 3 inches taller.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you
So,
have
yeah.
that picture with you?
I do not. It's in my
Okay.
camera.
Oh, the actual
I
camera.
thought-
Oh, that was on your phone. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I thought I
I
had
was
my
just
phone.
curious.
Well, I don't think. Let me look on my
But no, yeah, I just like I said, as you can see the comparison on the picture on the right. I mean, he would have to be standing physically, in theory, in the locker or where the locker
Right,
was,
yeah.
if it wasn't there back in the day.
So Mike had a question, like how tall the locker was.
Well, that was it. The number 2 would be just in the middle of it, would be at the top of my shoulder. So
Like that picture is.
Yes. So guessing the cabinet itself is 5 foot, 5'2", in that range, and then like I say, my head was up and over it.
Yeah. But I mean, my guess was about his height, and he said, I don't know, possibly maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would say.
Oh wait, yeah, here it is.
No, the one thing, there's one thing, and you'll see in the video when they go in and debunk it.
Okay.
Can you send that
Send it
to?
to Jeremiah so you can kind of get an idea. We can see the viewers at home can get an idea.
Yeah, Jeremiah, you got a. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'll send you my email.
Well, I'll send it to your cell phone real quick. That'll work, or no?
It would be better to an email.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is I totally forgot my thought now. When they went to compare it, and you'll see it, I think on the video, the issue I take claim with it is they're not head on again. Like this is obviously shooting straight on. Fleer is. When they go and reenact it, it's kind of angled though. Well, I mean, I know in the moment you're not gonna be like have to have everything precisely lined up,
Yeah.
but it's the fact if there's any kind of reflective bouncing off of there, I would like to see it head on, so in case it was given a false reading.
But neither one of
But
them
they,
in there was wearing a hat.
right? Well, they claim nobody.
No, yeah,
nobody
those
found
two,
one.
those two
Yeah,
were not.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
and they were standing in front.
It's all taken it from their.
I mean, from camera point, the guy who was filming them is.
He's angled.
I mean, you'll see it.
Yeah,
You'll
he's
see
angled.
it.
He's behind.
So-
them.
Jason and Grant are in front. They're in front of the locker. They're doing their thing, and you see it.
Right.
So is it something Is it possible that somebody leaned up against the locker?
You would give
prior?
it
Right,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
because I know when Michelle had hers, we've used it a few times where if somebody
Mm-hmm. Right.
puts their hand or their fist or their
It'll
shoulder
be-
up against a wall, it stays there.
It'll be that same color, the reddish yellow.
Mhm.
It won't be blue.
Like the figure.
I
The
mean,
figure's blue.
That's
Right,
cold.
but
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the picture that's glowing
Yeah.
red.
Right.
Is it possible that somebody could have been
It'd be
leaning up
distorted.
against it, or
It would
Yeah,
be
it-
distorted. It wouldn't be a perfect two though, like that is.
Yeah, it's a.
see that just doesn't look like a perfect two to me.
I mean, as good as it's gonna get compared to the locker on the right. I mean,
Did you get that email
Not yet.
So-
address?
I
I
can-
sent it out on
I
the
can-
line chat.
I can do it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
If you need to send if I can type the email in for you if you need me
Oh, okay.
on the picture. But no, yeah, I know what you're saying, Rose. But I think it would. It would.
Because even if that was the two, he wouldn't even be inside the locker still.
The thing is that no one's inside. You can't see. It's not X-ray. So whatever the figure is on the
It's
outside.
On the outside of it.
You're either seeing through the apparition, or I don't know what else, what other explanation there would be.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with the glowing of the two itself, maybe it's some kind of reflective paint, and if the lights are on down there, maybe it absorbed that heat like a rock would
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
or
I
something.
guess so. It
Possibly.
could.
Maybe, that's what maybe helps explain the glowing part of it. It doesn't explain the figure behind it, though. That's something I could think of. Maybe it's reflective, that two is. But, yeah, and pretty soon here we'll show a picture of Dan. Dan the man. Stand next to that
It's
actual
actually a
locker.
good picture of you.
There it is.
Thank you. Good picture out there.
Next time, use your duck lips for your selfie. I'm just kidding.
Did you get it sent?
He
There
didn't
it
take-
is.
He didn't take himself. No, yeah, it is a good picture, man, and it'll help, I think, clear some of that up.
Yeah.
What,
That's-
what I don't understand is why is Dan wearing a hat and he's. I'm kidding. He's blue and he's fake.
Like,
But that figure is tall but very tiny.
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Very
you don't
tiny.
see in that locker how thin that locker is.
Yeah, very tiny.
it's not very
The
big.
head's up there in the corner of the locker.
Mhm.
But if now when we do watch the video, because you sent it and we're gonna watch it here in a bit.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's just my eyes, but I swear when they're looking at it in that scene right there, you can almost see the head move.
Yeah.
It's
It
kind
does.
the head
Like,
like
turns
looks
into
it,
it.
it looks down. He like looks and down.
Hey Jeremiah,
Yeah.
is it possible to put a comparison side by side with that
Yeah, yeah.
FLIR one too? Just
Uh,
play for the
yeah,
locker.
give me just a
No,
quick
I know-
second here.
I know you're having to rotate it, but yeah, no, it's interesting to say. It was one of the, when I first saw it back in the day. To me, it was credible. It blew my mind back then too.
Yeah.
That whole, I mean, I thought they caught the real deal, and I still think they probably did.
I think they did. I mean,
I mean, we try to debunk it as much as we
Yeah.
can, but we weren't there, so it's
Right.
hard to say anything.
Right.
But
It'd take a lot
just
of factors.
using our own logic to.
Because it looks like the hat's. It looks like he's kind of looking down at something.
He does, and it does. The head, like you can
He's
see
tilted
it.
a little bit.
It moves downward. It's
Can
pretty
you go
cool.
back to that picture on
Yeah,
the phone
I think it's pretty interesting.
that you're on?
But yeah, sorry people at home, we're getting the picture of Dan.
Trying to get that lined up about the same height there and
Oh, I
same
gotcha.
size and all.
Yeah,
It's the same.
That looks pretty close there, doesn't
Something
it?
to do with it.
yeah, I think you're good.
Oh,
man.
Like a
Good you're
matrix.
gonna get. I wouldn't stress
See where
over
the
too
two's
much.
at. Face. If it,
No, it's
It's funny. Yeah, no, the whole crescent, the whole crescent video
Yes.
was good. What's the matter?
you see the smudge? There's like a smudge mark.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a perfect.
but
You would think
in the
so.
video it actually moves.
It wouldn't be a.
You'll
perfect-
you'll see it,
Yeah.
and there's a photo right there.
Oh, I meant put it next to the FLIR image over it, but over the ghost, the locker. You're fine though.
What's that?
I meant put Dan over the locker, like the actual picture of the locker, like replace the locker picture with Dan next to.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't probably say it clear enough.
Like that? Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah.
All
That
right.
we can see-
Ta-da.
that we can get an idea of the image. There you go. Atta kid. There it is. You can see it at home now. That way you can compare how small this apparition is. I mean, to fit in that locker. It's perfectly in that locker.
Tall and tiny.
It's tiny, it's thin, it's very short, I mean, to be in that locker. It's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
It's pretty impressive. I always thought. What Rose was asking us on camera here was up above the two in the locker itself. It looks a little smear up above where the hinges are, kind of in that area. You see like a little bit of a smear on Dan's picture, but it wouldn't be enough. I mean, to create that image.
I mean, you can even see the collared shirt on the person.
Yeah, you can.
In that
Yeah.
figure.
mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
but I like where your head was at thinking.
Yeah,
Because, I mean,
yeah.
what if it was just some kind of smear given a matrixing
Show that
possibility?
to
So
Jeremiah.
it's crazy.
You know,
Look, can you
if,
see
if,
it?
if you, huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
If you really look at that picture, it almost looks like, because everyone's first impression is that the guy is standing with his shoulder and he's kind of looking to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you look at the collar
It
on
looks
that,
like it's head on.
it looks like
Yeah.
it's head on, and something is obscuring his arms, the outer edges of his shoulders.
Yeah, it does. I see what you're going with that too.
Yeah. You can see the both sides of the collar.
But then if you
And
look
so
down,
that would put the two more up on his what would that be? Left or left shoulder.
Oh yeah.
like chest.
Is
like
that a strap
if
maybe
you
going
look-
across?
Right.
Well, if you look at that, is that a strap? It's kind of there's like a small trunk. Yeah, right there. What you're pointing at.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. That's interesting though. But probably whenever you're ready, we can play that actual footage.
Okay.
If you're ready, man. That way people probably getting tired of us being a dead horse.
I can do that. Okay.
Now, people at home, this is taken off the DVD from Ghost Hunters. How about Adventures?
Nah.
Ghost Hunters.
Say the right
The tab.
one.
I know. I would never disgrace in that way.
Tabs.
But so the audio is because back then the footage. This has been what, God, 12.
Oh yeah, that was back in 2001.
Something. Yeah,
2002, something like that.
So the video, I mean, the quality was bad and the audio was pretty bad. So you'll hear it. So I apologize. It's
yeah,
kind
it's
of loud.
definitely not HD for sure.
Yeah.
So.
So
Right.
It was not bad. I tried to clean it up as much as I could.
All right, here we go.
So.
Maybe.
This is the room that was filled with jars of formaldehyde and body parts.
You play it, you
Okay,
play it,
yeah, hang on.
Camera.
That's fine.
Notice
When you
something
actually play it, is it going to kill our mics?
What's that?
When you play it, is it going to kill the mics?
Only if you want to monitor it, if you want to listen to it.
That's what I was going to do, so that people.
Let's see here.
Guys and stuff can hear it.
I'm having some issues.
No.
Issues!
That's funny.
That's a first.
Fit the screen, there we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, kill our mics, if you will.
This is the room that was filled with jars of formaldehyde and body parts.
While me and Grant were checking out the morgue with the thermal camera, noticed something odd I just had never seen before.
Do me a favor, just rewind quickly.
I immediately asked Grant to rewind the tape so I could see what we had caught on the thermal imaging camera. And upon him rewinding it, I could see a figure. I could see a figure standing right there in the door next to us.
Oh, jeez. When Jay said rewind the tape, I was expecting a flash or something. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, that's freaking me out. Normally when we catch something on the thermal imaging camera, it's not very impressive.
Oh my gosh, hang on, I gotta look at that again before I start flipping out.
But there, staring us down, was this figure that was no more than 2 feet away from me, and honestly gave me chills. That kind of stuff just doesn't happen very often. It's the holy grail for us investigators, and to know that it happened right next to me really kind of freaked me out.
Man, does it look like a hat? Does it look like he's wearing a hat? Like the brow on the hat? It does.
I really wasn't sure if it was an apparition or Grant's reflection.
You think that's maybe my reflection, Jay?
The image that showed up was so
I'm
clear
talking, I'm sorry.
that I thought it's got to be one of us.
Let's just make sure that that's not my reflection.
We immediately set about trying to make a reflection in that locker.
I was right about here.
Yeah. You see me?
No, what?
Oh my gosh, I'm not there. We opened up the locker in case someone was inside, but there's no way someone could have ever stood inside it. It's just a bunch of shelves in there.
That's you on camera.
All right. Put it on the thing again.
It's gone now.
Where's the 2?
Right there.
Why was the 2?
Wow.
But yeah, like I said, so you can see in comparison what they're kind of off center though. They're,
Mm-hmm.
which that's just me being skeptic like always, critical a little bit just because.
But still, it wasn't hot. I mean, even on
No,
an
no,
angle,
no.
it should be
Right.
still somewhat glowing, even on an angle. But
No, yeah, and it still
It's-
was. The 2 was. but
Yeah.
I thought the image wasn't there.
yeah. But if you saw it, did you see the head actually move?
Oh, yeah.
It, it looks downward.
So the thermal imaging detectors, they don't put off anything that would make something like that glow, like it absorb the.
No, there's no, a thermal imager doesn't have an extender like our infrared cameras do.
Okay.
The thermal imagers don't do that. They don't have any need for that because they're already working off of the ambient.
Sorry.
I was just looking at the look on Rose's face. That they're already working off of the ambient thermal energy that things are already giving off.
Yeah,
You okay?
Yeah. Did you hear the
that might be Leo or somebody too.
It came from over here.
They're back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo's over
We've
here.
got guests back
okay.
Yeah,
there.
there's guests in the corner too. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, so no, the FLIR, all it does is detect heat.
Okay.
And different things of that nature. Like running water, they use it for things like that. And,
Okay.
Or electricity, basically. So it gives
Wow,
off
that's
heat.
it.
Yep. But yeah, no, I like that piece of evidence. I mean, me personally, I think it's credible. And obviously they couldn't debunk it, so I don't know. Cool.
Still one of my favorite shows. so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, did you get a chance to go into the room 419 at all?
Yes.
Okay. What was the background story behind that, if you don't mind me telling?
Uh,
You quit
that-
playing Candy Crush for 5 minutes and tell
Sorry,
the
I was trying to find another picture. I sent a few
Like
more
doing
to
this shit.
Jeremiah, but
Candy Crush, really?
no, doing pictures, brother.
Sorry, guys.
419 is the room belongs to Thelma. Thelma's okay. That room has two entrances because they made it a suite. So it's got two small rooms. One's a bedroom. The other one's got a fireplace, the bathroom, and a little. It's not even a. Well, it's not a fireplace. It's kind of weird. It's a fireplace, but beside it, it's a little closet that's about this tall, and they believe they stored firewood in it at one time. I don't know,
Gotcha.
but it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and you'll see that on the video. We're going to play here in a little bit.
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Let me see if it's painted the same way. It's crazy.
Like
weird.
a dark kind of bluish
Dark
green.
blue with stars everywhere.
Those are stars?
Yeah, they're stars.
I think that's the same way.
crazy.
Okay,
But,
let me ask you this: when you walk in the rooms right here, that little big cutout on the left-hand side, is that where you're talking about? The closet is?
Yeah, to your left. If you look in
couldn't
the
tell what
door,
that was.
it's a little tiny closet
Yeah.
door.
Okay.
2.5, maybe 3 foot tall. Look like when little children going with sleep. I don't know, but it's somewhat deep. But they claim that they believe it's firewood.
Oh, I thought that was
Sorted.
part of. I thought that's where the actual bed was. Like that was an extra room. over
No,
there.
the
Oh.
bed is in to your right.
Oh, I couldn't see it.
You go in that door and turn to the right. The
Okay.
original doors where the bedroom is,
Mhm.
but the door is always blocked and always gets stuck. They couldn't get that door to stay open. They couldn't use it anymore. Every time they tried to unlock it, it would lock. Stuff would be in front of it, like the other door,
Yeah.
but this one here is much stronger. So,
Oh.
so they put another door into the actual living room area, and that's the entrance that they use now. That's also the same door that Jason had the issue with the laptop
Yeah.
laying up against the door. She's not putting stuff in front of the door as much now. What she's doing now is, of course, she puts away all your clothes.
Oh, sweet.
That's nice.
If you're nice.
Oh, well,
If,
I'm out.
if she doesn't care for you, she puts your clothes away in your luggage, and she
Oh.
hacks for you.
That's awesome.
Okay.
If you put change out on the table, apparently she'll stack up your pennies, nickels, dimes, and
That's
stacks
awesome,
for you.
dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so they claim they got video of this, where you can see that it's actually happened or happening. They didn't show that to us, which is unfortunate.
Why?
Exactly.
You have if you have definitive proof, why not show it?
Right, exactly.
Because there's something
fishy about it.
fishy about it.
It's
It's nice claims.
I
Just
went
like
into
somebody
the room.
packing your bags for you.
Yeah, I was in the room. They miraculously let us in the room. Usually it's booked every time that they have a tour.
course.
The room wasn't booked this time. We tried to book in that hotel. We were going to stay there. Luckily, we didn't. Stayed in a much better place, I believe,
Right.
in the palace. But sorry. I
Now you
apologize.
see. Now you understand.
Oh, karma.
I apologize. But we were going to pay the $300 a night to do the ghost package where you get a room, you get the tour and the T-shirts and all that fun jazz. But they would not guarantee one of the 3 rooms for us
And a flashlight. Sorry.
and a flashlight. So it's like, well, if you can't guarantee a room, well, 2 of the 3 rooms were open that night, so they lost out on the bucks. But
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Jason.
so.
About some ocean and something.
We didn't get the room, but we did get the tour of the room, and I started using equipment. I had a K2, I had my recorder, and I had another piece, and I can't remember what I had. Oh, I did have my SB7. I was going to start using it. I was running through there with my K2, and the guy took offense to it. I'm like, what? Why? We're on a ghost tour. Why
What did
can't I
he
use
say
the
to you?
equipment? We really don't want you to use that right now. I'm like, well, why not? You know, well, this is a tour. It's not an investigation. I'm like, well, I'm paying the money. I want to investigate it. So
Right.
he did take offense to me using the tools and asking questions. He didn't like me to ask questions. But it was super fast. The whole spiel. It was, you know, it was a monologue again. You know, was everybody was talking, and that's one thing. I mean, he was very knowledgeable on the hotel. I give him that. Good tour guide, but he just wasn't allowing anybody else to converse about it and talk
Right.
about it. It was very stagnant for the people that were paying the money.
Right.
You know, and
You know, if there's anybody else listening out there that's had this same issue there, let us know. That'd be interesting to find out.
yeah, if
other
you've done the
people-
tour, I want to see what your your take was on it. That'd be neat to hear.
Just kind of goes to show you what we do things different when we do our. Can you imagine doing a public investigation or, well, I guess we're doing it as an investigation, but like your ghost tours you do, no questions can be asked. Don't bring any equipment. Don't do anything. You sit there and listen to me.
Jason
Kind of
probably
thing.
wishes he could do that sometimes.
Yeah, there've been some tours that we've talked about and seen. It's just
Yeah.
like people were drunk and whatever else.
Yeah, I wanted to throw my shoe at him is what I wanted to do. Take my microphone and chuck it at him. You know, that's what I wanted to do. But I love questions. I love getting them
Right.
to interact. That's the
Yeah.
best part of it.
Right.
Now, question.
I
You
wouldn't-
think,
No
maybe,
question.
you think maybe they do that just because they want to keep it moving? Because their tours are only like, what, an hour?
No, they're 2.5 hours.
Oh, are they? Okay, so that
But the
wouldn't
thing
be-
is, they're stacked on top of each other. They have a tour that's 7, 8, 9, and I believe on weekends 10. So they start up, you go, you get you're into it for 45 minutes to an hour, another one starts right behind you. So that's the reason most likely. But again,
Yeah, but
They should tell you that in the beginning.
but
you know?
my thought is that they're really claiming to be
The
something
most
huge,
haunted
the
hotel in
most
America.
haunted. So if you got somebody like you going in there, you pick up nothing with
Maybe we need to
equipment
go in and
gear.
ask them live. You know,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be interesting? Hey, look, just wondering, you say this is the haunted hotel. Can you tell me why we can't use a
Right.
K2?
right, exactly. I don't know.
I mean, when you put it like that, because of the time constraints, that makes more sense.
Some of
Yeah.
it, like, you know,
And even if you took the last 10 o'clock one, and you say on Saturdays, they'll be like, well, we need to get people out here because it's a hotel. People are
But you
asleep.
could still say, hey,
So, I mean,
folks, this is a quick tour. I don't mind if you break out a K2 or a voice box or something really quick, but just keep moving with me.
I
voice
guess
box,
I
maybe not.
You know, yeah.
I guess
or
I
something.
understand because when I'm on the tour, on the bus, I have to get the stories going and I have to keep talking
Right.
and
Sure.
get us to every location. You know, I've got Paula who's behind me usually. You know, doing the whole Jason. You know,
Still third?
let's get going. You know,
Yeah.
we're only on this spot and we've only got another hour and we've got a lot to cover.
Right.
And then when we get out to the cemetery or whatever, and they really start asking questions and wandering off, and it's
it makes sense.
It does,
In the
it
end,
does.
but I don't know.
but it was, you know, it was a little fishy on some parts of it. But I mean, again, you know, if I did have some K2 fluctuations in a couple of areas, 419 not at all. The bedroom did have a ominous feeling about it, but again, yeah.
Could be the paint itself.
Oh
the
my
dark
God,
areas,
that was scary. I mean, the room was so dark, so weird. And the photograph that they have of Thelma in the room.
Is that her?
No, not Thelma.
Saw that too. Sorry, put a picture of Dan by accident.
They have a-
people at home.
They do have one of the tour guides. She wears period clothing.
Ew.
Fun lady.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Black dress, all period. But she does. Calm down,
God.
son. She's an artist, and she draws photographs of descriptions of what guests have stated they've seen.
Oh, cool.
And what some of the guides, just like the author of that book, what he has seen or what he has felt in his dreams.
Yeah.
And some of them, she's good. You know.
So do they put that on display somewhere?
They do.
You
They
can see,
like
or-
in Thelma's room. They have it in her room.
Is that our break?
Almost. Keep going.
Yeah, actually, on that note, let's go ahead and wind up for a break. We'll pick all this right back up when we come back, and
Stay tuned. We have a video.
it's
to
that
show.
time.
We
So
have a
what's
video.
that?
So stay tuned, people at home. We have a video to show.
Yep.
They kind of along with this
Yes.
part one of his story. We'll
Yeah,
go with
yeah.
part two in just a second here. So sorry about that. It's just Frank.
Hey!
Hey, it's Frank.
No, Frank, only Zoom.
Almost did it.
All right, yeah.
Going to break?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought we
Here
were.
we are.
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Creeping back here till break.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. In the meantime, don't
back,
forget to
everybody.
don't forget to like and share, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Please come back.
And we are back, and we gained someone.
Yay.
Hey, what up, Jim?
No, I'm still Frank.
Frank.
Beans and Franks.
Frank's making it dirty, Leo.
Had to go there.
It was just strange, now it's strange.
This is for Dan. Fuck.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, a little inside joke. Okay, all right.
Where were we?
We were about ready to look at a video from room 419, Thelma's room at the Crescent.
Yes. Whenever
All right.
Jeremiah's ready.
Are we ready? Jump right into
Let's
it?
jump
All
right
right.
Did you bring headphones, Jake?
I did not,
Oh,
no.
right on.
No,
Way to be
Borrow
prepared.
mine? No, never mind.
no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll just look pretty.
Here you go.
Yeah.
All right.
When I opened the door to Grant's room, his computer bag was propped up against it from the inside. So I thought that was really weird, so I figured I better go back and talk to Grant about it. Hey, guys? Yes? Dude, your room, where did you have your laptop when you left? I think it was in front of the TV? Yeah, and when I tried to get in it, I couldn't because it was propped up against the door. I couldn't get in the damn door. Great. Am I gonna sleep in there tonight? That's your room again.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the room looked the same as it did before.
I don't see as many stars in there. That paint scheme is now different.
That's a
in that
different room.
Oh, okay, good.
That's Jason's room. Grant was the one that stayed in that room.
Yeah.
No, the dark green color.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. But yeah.
Do we want to run that through again?
Yeah, I would, because I think a lot of people haven't came back yet. Give it a couple minutes. We'll talk just a little bit.
Okay.
And then hold on a second. So yeah, the video we were just showing for the people that are just rejoining us is still at the Crescent Hotel. It's room 419 with Thelma's room, you said?
Thelma's room, yes.
Sorry. Got distracted a little bit. Got turned on. So later. Anyways.
Sorry, Lena.
Wow.
But yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's Thelma's room.
So that's the one you're talking about with the supposedly she unpacks your
She'll either
unpack your
unpack or
bags.
pack your bags. She will, again, put away your clothes.
Stack coins.
Stack your coins, clean
Right.
up your room for you. Yeah, she doesn't, or she'll put your bags by the door. As she
Yeah.
did with.
What'd you do to
Jason.
yours?
I didn't stay in that
He
room.
didn't stay in that room because they couldn't. That's at the Crescent. He stayed at the Palace.
They
Okay.
couldn't accommodate me,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But yes.
But yeah, so we'll play that video here in just a few minutes again, and then we'll have some questions, some follow-up questions for you.
Sure.
on that.
Go ahead. Someone's here.
So whenever you're ready, Jeremiah, sorry I distracted you. Can you play that video one more time?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw it up there.
Yeah.
When I opened the door to Grant's room, his computer bag was propped up against it from the inside. So I thought that was really weird, so I figured I better go back and talk to Grant about it. Hey, guys? Yes? Dude, your room, where did you have your laptop when you left? I think it was in front of the TV? Yeah, and when I tried to get in it, I couldn't because it was propped up against the door. I couldn't get in the damn door. Great. Am I gonna sleep in there tonight? That's your room again.
Oh, no.
See back there? Like a cutout looks like.
Okay, so when you first step in the door,
Uh-huh.
is to your left is the bathroom.
Okay.
And then the fireplace and window, that little nook, and then turn to your right.
Gotcha. I was just curious. The green room was what Dan was talking about earlier with the little cutouts, like they said they thought it was for firewood. They said back in the day, yeah. And that's Thelma's room once again. So you were saying in your stories that the claims they said that if she didn't like it, she would pack your bags for
She'll
you.
pack your bags for you.
So in the video itself of the ghost hunters, what do you think if that legitimately, if she moved that laptop, briefcase, whatever, do you think that she didn't like Grant staying there?
According to Lawrence, I believe his name, she was not comfortable with him being in the room, so she
Okay.
was putting his stuff by the door. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Probably because of what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, actual ghost hunting and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I never knew that piece of it.
Yeah.
Until you told the story, and then
Yeah.
now I was just trying to follow up with.
Is that something they told you when you were there? Or
Right.
is that, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so they
They
told
talked
you.
about the ghost hunters being there. The actual show.
No,
Oh,
they didn't.
okay.
They did only in the basement with the photograph.
Well,
they didn't.
yeah, that makes
they
sense.
didn't want to talk about anything about. Yeah, they only talked about their experiences and people that have stayed there.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you happen to talk other than outside the tour itself? Did you talk to any of the workers there? Or anything?
I did,
And
yeah.
Did they have any claims or anything, or they couldn't talk about it because of?
Well,
you know.
again, they're having an issue. They have a lawsuit pending right now. I did talk to them about a death that's in the news. It's all over the news right now. In a way, I could talk about what's been on TV, but there's a wedding earlier this year, and on the main staircase, somebody tried to sit on the rail. The stairs, of course, they're period stairs,
Right.
1886. They're short.
Mhm.
They're really short.
Yeah.
Probably 3'8", 3'9", and he sat back to sit on the edge and fell 4 stories,
Oh,
broke his
Jesus.
neck, and died. So
Didn't
I
hear
was
that.
talking to him about that. Of course, then they went silent, really big, and but no, I did. I was talking to him a little bit about the female that during the school, the women's school, they had girls' school back in the 1920s and 30s. Talking to him about the female that fell and or was pushed off. They believe that she was pushed off, but they're not 100% because they believe she was with child, and they think that either she took her own life because at that point it was bad, and or one of the teachers, the faculty, was the father and threw her off. So
Oh yeah, I've heard that. That's right. I do remember that.
they were talking about, I guess even recently within the last 5 years, I don't know where there's the Passion of the Christ
Yeah.
story that they have over
Yeah.
there across town in Eureka. Police officers over there doing lunch, at dusk, and he was over there eating, and of course Crescent's on top of the hill when it's well lit. You can see it pretty decently from across town, and he was over there watching. All of a sudden, he seen a woman jump off the 3rd floor, and so he called the hospital, and they got the ambulance up there. Dude freaked out. I mean, they had an ambulance up there, the fire department up there. They called the hotel to go check the ground, the security, and by the time they got over there was nobody there. Of course, they believe this one here's a residual. She does it on occasion, not all the
Wow.
time, but yeah.
That'd be a sight to see.
That'd be cool
Yeah,
to see.
Wow.
that would be
That'd be awesome
neat
to
to
set
see.
a camera
Yeah,
from that
exactly.
angle where he was sitting and see if you could capture it possibly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you don't know when it just randomly happens.
Right. It's just randomly.
Oh,
I
wow.
did take a photograph, which Jeremiah has, of the actual jump or push site, showing you the grounds below, which was kind of neat. But
Interesting. Huh. That's crazy.
yeah, so who knows? It was an interesting story. I mean, the tour was nice. I mean, the hotel, again, it's beautiful for what it is. It's got a great story, with the Norman Baker and one good thing about it, again, they proclaim to be the most haunted, hotel in America, and they talked about the morgue and how the doctor, of course, this is where all their hauntings are coming from, or most of them in a way. The cancer hospital, this gentleman would, let's see, we'll ask Jeremiah here in a second if he's got any pictures ready to go.
Yeah, I've got some of them.
Could you throw the main picture of the crescent up? The outside, the dark picture? And that one
That's
there.
actually the one that I don't have ready yet.
Okay.
The,
Well, go ahead,
the one.
You want to throw that one there with the jump site there? That would be. So right here, this is from the 3rd floor. the railing. It's an observation deck now, but it used to be a dormitory for women, and you can see right there they have the Crescent Hotel things, but at one time those were tennis courts right there, and so that is where she is seen multiple nights, jumping from it. They say at times it's a white shadow, a white blip that falls. Sometimes it's a full apparition, and then at times they have seen where there's a male and a female down below embracing and kissing and then dissipating off into the woods. So
So the hotel itself only 3 stories then?
no, it's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is, she jumped from the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then actually it would be 5 because there's penthouses.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But there's only the penthouses are on the 2 corners, so really it's a 4-floor
Okay.
hotel with the penthouses.
Wow, that's crazy.
But on one end of the hotel, we'll go back to the Norman Baker story. They
Yeah.
built the one side of the hotel on as made it during the when the women's college.
Is
was
this the
there.
one you were talking about, Dan?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, made me laugh because that's the one I don't have. Damn it.
Oh, dang, it's kind of small. Oh well. All the way to the left. Growth. All the way to the left, you can barely catch it, but that was a build on, and what they did, it was the gymnasiums, the workout centers for the female students in the 20s and 30s, and then when Norman Baker took the place over, he put all the urgently ill patients over there because I guess Norman Baker didn't believe in giving anybody any pain meds. You are to cure the hurt by shutting your mind down and closing off the pain. So what he would do if you were starting to hurt so bad that you were vocal about it, screaming and crying, he would put you over in this area, and what he did is put steel doors between the main hospital and this area, so you would be pushed off into the center area again, and that's where room 3500 is now. But what they did is they blocked it all off. Everybody would expire over there. They would take them down the stairs directly underneath of that area to the morgue, and he would perform autopsies. Cut up the tumors in infected areas and actually cut up the bodies and then take them down the hill. Crazy stuff. Now that whole area, what used to be the death rooms are now honeymoon suites, which is kind of strange.
So it's still a death room.
Still a
Basically,
death.
Anyways,
But yeah.
the photo that was up with the night vision, you have to put it back up. The night footage of it, is it? She jumped from the front of the building. That little
No,
right there.
from the back.
Okay, that's what I was
It was
wondering.
from the back,
Okay,
yes.
I guess I saw the pool off in the corner, so never
Yeah.
mind. That makes more sense now. I look at this picture.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, interesting.
Yeah, it was
No.
from the back. But yeah,
That's crazy. It's-
crazy place.
yeah, it'd be nice to go try to investigate it, but it's going to be this one you're going to have to buy it out in order to do it, probably.
Right, yeah.
And you're talking. I can't even imagine the price they jack it up to now.
100
Oh, yeah.
rooms.
What'd you say?
100 rooms, and they have 100 rooms, and their average right now is $169 to $199 a night.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I just the price online. Yeah. So,
We could
Yeah.
do it.
Couple grand.
okay. I'm just kidding. No, it'd be awesome. I would love to go investigate there. And that's probably the only way you're going to be able to get to do it, obviously, unless
Right.
they start blocking
Well-
off chunks of nights to do so, which they won't because they have a money-making scheme.
It's a money-making scheme right now, yes.
It's every night they do the tour. Oh,
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Well, right now they're doing it every night. In the wintertime,
Summer,
they
yeah.
take away 2 nights a week, so it's only 5 nights a week they do. And they do between 2 and 4 tours a night.
Wow. It's insane. But, hey, it's been working all these years for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Keep doing it. I mean, how can you fault them for doing so?
Yeah,
You're gonna say
so-
something, sorry.
Well, yeah, and then, of course, the big claim on it, of course, well, it's all a big claim, but, they talked about, they did the autopsies and the people and the morgue was there, and then they cremated the bodies. Well, they didn't cremate him at the Crescent. They actually took him downhill. And the hotel I stayed in was actually owned by Norman Baker's girlfriend during the time that he was running the hospital. So the crematory is actually in the basement of the Palace Hotel and Bathhouse that I was staying in.
Right.
Yes.
Not their mother that took it out, did you say?
They just took it out here a few weeks ago. They sold the actual
all the
crematory. Yeah, there's the Palace Bathhouse that I stayed in. They destroyed the crematory a few months ago in the basement. They got rid of it, but put a concrete wall up in place of it.
It's crazy.
But, yeah.
Makes me wonder if the activity level has changed since they did that.
Well, we were there for 2.5 nights, and the activity in that building was pretty phenomenal. It was. I enjoyed it. I mean, I had a female, and I let you listen to that a little bit last night. I need to clean it up and get listen to it more, but I had a female named Rosemary come to our room and sing to us.
That was awesome. You got to hear it.
Right.
It's pretty cool, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
The K2, I was from here to about where Bigfoot is hanging out.
I found it.
Yeah,
It was the juice.
It was the juice.
It's on there.
It's on his lap.
Yeah.
I had the K2 sitting over there, and I would ask Rosemary questions, and that thing, I had never seen a K2 peg as hard as it was. It would stay in the red, bounce 13, 14, 15 seconds,
Solid.
and then would drop.
Yeah.
And then come back up, and it was crazy. When I asked her questions, and she would answer with that. We heard footsteps. We heard the singing. We seen shadows. Me, myself, and Jane, a hotel manager over there. We were standing in the hallway talking, a little bit of what was going on, and one of the rooms, she says that it's pretty dark, and we're standing there, we're talking, and next thing you know, the room's empty, and underneath the door, you see somebody walk to about the middle of the door, and then you see the shadow turn away and walk out. I mean, just solid shadow.
That's
Wow.
And there's a room that Rosemary is in for predominantly most of the time. The hallway in between. Well, okay, it used to be a bordello back in the day for the higher ends in Eureka Springs, and so apparently Rosemary was engaged in an act, and she was a regular of some high senator, congressman of some type at that time. And anyway, she was in an act with somebody that he wasn't fond of, and she walked away, and he slit her throat. So,
Wow.
that's the information that they have. Nothing more, really. Can't find her in history or anything because, of course, she wasn't, a stand-up person in the area, but she's definitely there.
Rena requested that pic be put back up, so
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Of the hotel?
yeah.
Oh, right on.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Pretty good piece of information too. That is the first neon west of the Mississippi in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the first hotel in Eureka Springs that had electrical service and water service at the same time. Crescent couldn't even hold that stand.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just being an ass.
Yeah. So
Shocking.
yeah, it was neat. The oldest properties in Eureka Springs are directly across the street, and they were built in 1884. Crescent was built in 1886. So yeah, but yeah, that town has so much history, man. There's the hotel a block and a half down the road, right across from the Carnegie Library. Yeah, they have a Carnegie there too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's called the Piedmont. Jesse and Frank James have stayed in it. Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa stayed at the Grand in town. I mean, there's just so much history and so much
Is he
going
still
on.
there?
I was gonna say,
Maybe
where's
that's
Body?
where he's actually at.
Oh fun sometimes too.
Did you find him?
But yeah,
Now, a couple of questions for me is, well, that's actually one.
Sure.
But I noticed this picture of the crescent, looks like a lot of it is limestone.
it's 100% limestone. Yes.
Is that how most of the buildings in that area are?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the palace.
No, I said this picture in Crescent.
Oh, and the crescent.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Enunciation.
Well, what? Okay, so the story behind the whole town back, you know, the waters are miracle waters.
Springs,
The Indians had it there, and they had the basin springs, and everybody came there to be healed. Well, back in 1860, when the white man rushed out the Indian and took over the area, all the people came in there. They put a small building section around the basins where everybody stayed. Well, everybody that rushed in there, they said they had 10,000 people in 4 months moved in. They cut all the trees away, and they built shanties. So the whole town, I have a book with all the pictures from it. I should have brought it too. But the whole town was built up of shanties. And so in that round, they called the town, or Main Street called it Mud Street, because every time it rained, it became a muddy mess because there was no trees. Everything, and it's two mountains, so everything rusted down the middle, and it just became a muddy mess. And so they kept building up all these buildings, and they built the Grand Hotel, and they built at that time the Basin Hotel, and they built everything out of wood because that was the easiest thing to do. Well, they had a great fire. They've had 2 fires, and so then that's when they started going with limestone with everything. Then at that point, because they had no services there. There was not enough water in that valley to help them out, so they built everything out of limestone. They took it all the way out around from the area. So
Does it burn limestone? I wonder. I mean, if it probably burns at some.
Well, it's not going to burn. It's not going to just flat out burn. But it's like anything else. If you get enough heat damage to it, it'll crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of like
it has a melting point at some point. Yeah.
Kind of like over in.
Well, that's what I was asking.
In
Wilson at the Opera House. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made me think about the whole
Yeah.
thing. Just because, I mean, it has to have a melting. Everything has a melting and boiling point or whatever. And I was just thinking about it. But no, that's crazy. I mean, that's a beautiful building.
Yeah.
no, it is. It's again, it's 5 stories. You can see at the very top the attic. It's not very big, and you see a female standing there, but it's actually
That's what I was wondering.
that's Rosemary. It's a
Oh, that's what you were telling me.
yes.
Okay, I thought there was a woman that right there.
It's a
It's prop.
a prop.
Yeah.
And to her left is a baby hangs upside
That's
down.
right.
Rosemary's baby.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of crazy.
Get it?
Yeah. But no, it's a magical place, man. It's everything in this period. It's still got the original the elevator from 1901 that they put in. It's got the original bathtubs that they used back in 1901 through now. They still use the same springs for your healing springs in there. I mean, it's the only original bathhouse left in town. Sorry, can't even get it out now.
You got to go in it, right?
Oh yeah, we soaked in it. We actually did the full package. Yeah.
So do they filter it? Do they? I mean, all these people come from everywhere and sit in this
Everybody
thing.
just sits in it together.
they
Like
filter
sharing
the,
the bathwater.
they filter the.
It is Arkansas, so I mean, come on.
they do filter the drinking water. They do not filter this water here. They run it straight from the springs and heat it, and let you soak in it. They don't want you to drink it. They don't invite you to drink. You soak in it though.
Don't drink the bath water.
Don't drink it.
Especially
Not
There's no 10-minute rule or 10-second rule.
So you feel better
Once
that
it's
you
all
soaked
turned
in it?
gray.
Actually, yeah,
You
that
soak
felt
it
pretty
up
good.
next
Okay.
That's pretty
I
energizing.
won't throw
Okay.
it out there. It's private. Anyway.
Interesting.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's fine.
Well, my wife has bummed me.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah.
if you wanted to get
No,
that
yeah,
information
yeah.
out.
She had surgery on her knee. She had a torn meniscus, and she still has issues with it. And she soaked in the water for the 22 minutes, and we drove down to Galveston. She's like, man, I am not hurting. And she didn't hurt the whole time, and she didn't start hurting again until like 2 days ago. So
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what,
Back
that's
in
what I was
Kansas?
talking about.
Back to Kansas, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, they say the guy healing, nature's to him, but,
For a couple days.
well, you gotta soak,
It's just
multiple
Going back
times.
multiple
Yeah.
times. Get a
I mean-
package deal.
They got some good stories, Well, they actually still have over on, I can't remember the street. That's where the Passion of the Christ is. There's a drive back there, but they still have one of the springs that's open up to where you can go in there and soak and, bathe in it, what have you.
Crazy. No, yeah, I've always wanted to go there. Just never made it down that far.
We need to, because like I
Yeah.
say, now we have the open invitation.
Right.
I could probably work on the Hatchet House. That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely a go. Yep. So that's cool. What's the book up here in front?
That is the director of the ghost tours over at the Crescent.
Uh-huh.
It's called 100 room
House of 100
House of
Rooms.
100 Rooms. Yes, sorry. It's a bunch of the stories that they don't tell on the ghost tours that
Oh, cool.
that they get from their
Jeremiah
people.
Rasad.
Yeah.
This one right here. People at home. This book.
Yeah, I purchased it. It's autographed and everything, so whatever.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna read it and see. There's a few stories in there that they didn't talk about, so we'll see what it entails. But yeah,
That's awesome.
That's cool.
yeah.
No, that's,
As far as the palace, I want to get their name out there because what I seen and what I felt is just remarkable. Compared to up the hill, I don't know.
And you caught EVPs there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
oh yeah, so you're talking about the
Yeah.
singing
Yeah.
from
That's
Rosemary,
singing.
yeah, which was you
Um,
played it for me the other day. It was interesting.
they spoke, in talking to all the employees. There's a gentleman, probably 5'5", that hangs down in the bathhouse. They don't know why he's there.
Sorry.
They have. We've seen the shadow. There's a Culligan water bottle that was just sitting over here, and it's sitting on concrete. It's not like it can move.
Uh-huh.
And we're sitting there, the K2's going crazy and all this stuff, and that water bottle just starts
that's
shaking.
right.
All the water's just going crazy, and all of a sudden it just smooths out, just like that, just like that.
Yeah,
And so.
Earthquake?
that's what I said. That's what I had asked too.
Maybe I didn't feel it,
I
but
asked him the same
Maybe
time.
T-Rex.
could have been a T-Rex walking down the street. They
It's hard to
have
say,
they have another room that they have utensils being thrown across the room. And again, this is from another employee. She's been out there for 11 years. Sorry. But she said that she's seen these spoons. They're quaint. They're tiny, little tiny stirring spoons for coffee, real small, but they're about that long, and they got thrown across the room at them. So every floor that I was on had something happen. I didn't see anything actually happen on the first floor, but it's been documented by the employees. So, but yeah, I'm ready to get out there to see what we can find.
Yep, definitely. It's definitely on our list. So
Yeah.
can't wait to head out that way. And I'm gonna check that attic out. The one you said you wouldn't go up in it.
I wouldn't go up in it by myself.
I know. They know what it is.
Yeah, it was.
It's always different with someone else.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. The basement, I did. That attic is just, it felt, well, we were leaving. Okay, we'll go with this. We were talking with housekeeping, and they let us go we couldn't get into room 6. Room 6 is supposed to be the magical room there. We couldn't stay in it because it was occupied. So it was empty when we were getting ready to leave, and they're, well, we'll go in there and check it out. Do what you want to do in there. Okay. So we went in there, checked it out. Dizziness. I got a little bit of dizziness out of it, but I didn't really catch anything else. I already had everything packed in the car, so didn't have any equipment, but I was just trying to get a feel. And so we're leaving the room. We're stepping out of the room, and we're like, okay, Rosemary, you have a great day. And room number 6 is here. There's a long hallway that goes to the dead end, which used to be a fire escape that takes you downstairs. But it's just a hallway that dead ends. It used to be 3 other rooms. Well, right beside room 6 is the attic door. And so we're walking out of the room. We step out and say goodbye to Rosemary, and the door opens. It was latched.
Yep.
So the housekeeper's keys was in the door, and her purse and her phone was inside the door, but the door was latched when it opened up. So we shut it. Well, I looked up. I took about 20 pictures to see if I catch anything.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's cool.
Crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Which we should have had a GoPro on or something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, no, I know. Like you said, one of the claims, Rosemary, since she was a working girl, we'll call her, whatever
Yes.
you want to call it.
Yeah.
Some of the claims they say she still likes to entice the men that go in there.
Yes.
It's one of the rumors and claims.
And my wife tried to talk her into doing what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
I share here half. Whoa. It was like crazy. But I don't recall
That's another
much.
show, folks.
I don't recall much happening, but the invitation was out there. Well, I mean, we did get singing over by the bed.
Yeah.
But
And that's what you guys heard with your own ears.
Own
Both
ears,
you
yes,
and Dana
yes,
heard
yes,
it.
yeah.
And you caught it, luckily.
And again, I wish I had the live feed on when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason we turned the live feed on, we started, because I was recording it and we got all that on the recorder. But from the door over by the bathroom, and a solid mass shadow walked from the room across from the TV towards the bed. Then we heard the singing.
Uh-huh.
So then I got my recorder back on, and then I'm sitting there scanning by the bed and watching the K2, and then we felt something behind us, and then the shadow went out the door.
Oh, that's right.
Dinner's
We
ready.
got a live call.
Hang on.
Showstopper. Yeah.
He's out.
And no,
And
that's
you've got the footage of that person singing?
I have the audio. I don't
He didn't
have
have
the
it on at the
footage.
time.
I didn't have the
Jeremiah.
video.
Yeah, he didn't have it. He didn't have a lot of feet going. God, bro.
What?
What are you doing?
I see why he was begging people to come back.
Oh my God.
Here now.
Wow. No, but I'll bring audio next week, and that way
Okay.
you can listen
Yeah.
to it. It's
It's cool.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah. We heard it Friday night and it was pretty impressive. Definitely singing.
Yes, definitely
Yeah.
singing.
Right.
Yep, and you can tell with your guys'
Did they sound like an old lady or little girl or?
It's female.
It's female.
Yeah. It's just, I was going to say, you can tell with his pitching his voice and Dana's pitching the voice talking, and then you can hear it's between them.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the same level there.
Right.
It's definitely, luckily it wasn't talked over. It was like underneath you guys.
Yes.
And a pause between you guys, talking
Yeah.
yourselves.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. You heard it Friday, didn't you?
Very little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it singing?
I don't know.
It's just like, it's more of like a, it's like a hum, like a wah wah or wah, kind of that kind of, not
more
words.
more of a melody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not necessarily. It's words that you
Scat.
didn't capture.
Okay.
It's just. It's
Because like
pitchy.
in Wilson, we caught that
He's
one
like a
night when the little girl sang Ring Around the Rosie down the hallway. That was pretty cool.
Well, Rosemary's been known to sing in the hallways and to again fondle the men that. So I
Why
I don't
does
make
that
this
get him?
stuff.
I
so
know.
much.
Such a school girl.
So hey,
Ah, geez.
we'll see. But it's interesting stuff. But there's also been large black masses in that hallway too.
Yeah.
So, again, something I would like to see or find. There's a chair that's out in the hallway between the rooms. They have a sitting area like they did in the hotel that you guys hang out in Oberlin. The sitting area you guys hang out
right.
there. Basically the same thing. There's 4 rooms, 5 rooms on the second floor. And then they have this large sitting area. They have chairs and they have books you can read and a refrigerator and a freezer. It's kind of weird, but it's laid out neat. But there's this one chair that they had pulled out of the basement. That's what I found out after I asked her about it, because me walking the hallway in the area out there and get a couple flips on the K2, but nothing major. You get over that chair, that thing just goes ablaze. And set it in the chair, walk away from it, it'd go down, but then it'd pop back up. And so that chair, and so I asked her about it, and she said, it's some of the old furniture that was put in the basement, when they did the remodels, so don't know what it is, but, everything in there is, 19 teens, 1920 furniture.
Yeah.
They still have the original, headboards and all that stuff, so it's kind of neat.
Weren't you telling me also too that the room you stayed in, which was number 8,
Yes.
right? If I remember right, it wasn't as active until you stayed there.
and exactly, yes. Well, Jane was telling me that they have periodic activity in the hotel.
Right.
It's not always, but she said, when we showed up, we started talking about it. It lit up.
Yeah.
The housekeeping came to her, told her about it.
That's
Robin,
right.
which is the second shift guy, came to her and said, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe it, but he does. He's seen things, but he just doesn't want to comprehend what's happening.
Right.
And then Danelle, which is the opposite shift of Jane, she's been there 11 years and she's seen everything. So she was very interested. She's like, "Yeah, man, everything's just going crazy right now." Well, they just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And they want to talk, and so.
Did they give you any kind of claims or anything? Now you said the workers said things were going a little crazy. Was there anything specific happening, like towels are getting moved or beds are getting messed up or anything?
No, shadows.
Oh, okay.
Singing.
Gotcha.
People walking up and down the stairs. There's nobody going up and down the stairs. And the front desk is here. The staircase is right beside the front desk, and then it just goes up like 3 steps and then goes up that way. So she said that she can hear people walking up and down the stairs, and there's nobody going
Wow.
around the place. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's, used to be 16 rooms upstairs. Now it's only the 4.
That's right. You said they made them to 2 doubles or bigger rooms.
Bigger rooms.
That's right.
So yeah, but yeah. Well, and of course the bathhouse, they had activity down there too. And of course that's just a gentleman right now, the only one that they know of, so.
Was there any reason why the gentleman's there, they said?
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know. Again, you gotta think about it, they have all the cowboys and all the senators and the congressmen and some presidents, I don't know which presidents ended up down there, but they had presidents down there. I don't know if they stayed at that hotel, if they stayed in the Grand, because it's actually downtown. But yeah, it's charged. The whole town it's got a charge to it.
I mean, it makes sense with all, like I said, we talked about earlier, the limestone buildings, plus the springs themselves. I mean, it's running water. That's a current, electricity. It makes sense. What's
Plus
probably
you got
feeling
the,
it.
the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
The Passion
Always
of the Christ.
playing.
Yeah.
Oh, it always plays down there?
Every day.
Every
Yeah.
day, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, most of the town, I mean, for years, that's what everybody's income was, is the Passion of the Christ. Everybody that lived there
It's a huge
was
thing
part
out
of
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes 300 people to put it on. So.
Kind of explain what that is. I mean, I know what it is, but it's to the viewers at home, what is it that you're talking about other than the movie itself? I mean, everyone knows the movie, but what's the point of
It's a
Eureka
huge
Springs?
play.
Yeah, it's a huge play. Yeah, the play of the Christ. It's
Right.
got an 8-story statue of Christ out there. It's a large amphitheater, and the whole town puts on again the Passion, the story just like the movie. They replay it every night, and
They have
thousands of
animals
people.
and
Yeah, they
all
have
that, yeah.
all the animals out there.
But why Eureka Springs, Arkansas?
Don't know. They
I
also,
mean, no, I mean, serious. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was just
I don't know.
curious. It's like, I mean, it made more sense if it was tied to the land somehow, but the fact it's just
Right.
a random.
Yeah.
They would put this play
It's-
on
It's
every day, all
pretty.
day.
I mean, it's a good location for it.
I was just
It
curious.
was,
It's on the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They have this whole road, Magnetic Road is the name of it. Magnetic Road is nothing but hotels of and religious hotels and church bases, and they all just congregate there, which is, I mean, it's neat. It's just crazy.
it always ends with Jesus flying backwards into the trees. That's all. I just always remember that. I've seen it
Historically
twice.
accurate.
And he's the wires just take him off, and he's doing this, and it just like it looks like he's going right back into the tree. That's all. That's all. That's what's stuck in my head with a couple times I've seen it.
Oh my god, that's
But Yeah.
Well, man, you had quite the adventure.
It was,
sounded like, man.
I loved it. Yeah, another hotel that we only had to play with for like this much. I mean, we went into it and walked around, did our self-guided tour, the basin.
Oh, yeah.
And it's beautiful too. Of course, it had a fire, and several people, if not a dozen, I think it was 9, but it might have been more than a dozen, got burned up in the fire there, and of course the town's got that's another story. See, there's so much about this town.
Yeah, I bet.
Ripley, Eureka Springs is mentioned and has more claims to being in the Ripley's, believe it or not, than any other city in the United States.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like the basin, which is 5 stories tall, every floor has a fire exit that goes out to actual land. I mean, you don't go downstairs. You walk out onto level ground.
Wow.
Built into the side of the hill. Wow. There's so many. I keep trying to remember the other claims, but there's so many claims that Ripley has there. But yeah, it's neat. But
That's awesome. Very cool, man. I'm glad you're sharing your story with us. I mean, I know we were waiting for you to come back.
Yeah.
A, because we're kids in a candy store when it comes to this stuff, number one. But the fact is, we wanted everybody at home to be able to talk about all that and hear the stories. And we just talked about it a couple weeks ago. And
Been there twice, and I didn't know about any of this stuff.
yeah, you've been
Well, it's
there
like-
twice? Yeah.
It was years ago, but
Okay.
it's
well,
like
it's the same thing with Alcatraz. I went there
Yeah.
back in the '90s, and who would have thought?
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn it. That's all I can say is damn it.
Yeah.
But I went as a guest, not a prison person, inmate.
Well, they were guests too.
Yeah, they're best. Yeah.
They were.
Extended.
Extended guests, yeah.
Yeah. Craziness. It's getting close to that time, boys. Jason, you want to talk about anything coming up for us? Okay, good.
No. So, October 20th, we've got Nest City and the events out there. You can contact the bank building out there in Nest City.
Yep.
Public event. Put it out there for all of us to dress up, or at least guest dress up. I don't know if you will, but
Bring your sleeping bags.
bring your sleeping bags
Yeah.
and pillows and stuff. It's staying overnight there. So inside the bank, 4 stories. Had some pretty good experiences there.
Yeah, definitely.
You're putting up a video
Yeah,
sometime.
I need to get it up tomorrow.
Leo's got a pretty awesome video trailer for the event. It's amazing footage there. And then the 15th, wish you guys could go.
Oh yeah.
To Leavenworth. Yeah, you hear that big sigh. But Leo, Roth, and I are heading off to Leavenworth to investigate and help out the town a little
Where
bit
no man
because they're
has
gonna.
gone before.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know if they've ever been investigated. I don't think they have been. So we're gonna try and knock it out in one night to help them get their tour going out there, their ghost tour, ghost historical tour that they're doing, that they do once a year. So we're trying to get this done before October 13th, which we'll do. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's gonna be.
September 29th it's open, isn't it?
September 29th is not open anymore.
Not open anymore.
September 29th, we're going back to Boot Hill.
Oh, that's right.
We're going back to Boot Hill. So the guests who bought the lot from the auction picked that night. So we're going to go and do some exploring out there on Boot Hill again. So looking forward to that. It'd be fun. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
So.
And forgetting one.
Oh, November 3rd? November 3rd. Man, it feels like so far away, but it's not.
It's really not. It's gonna be before we know it.
Yeah, November 3rd is Wilson at the Midland Railroad Hotel. We're going to go do our annual
Wife will kill me.
investigation there. But
Yeah.
I'm ready for the Midland too.
That's for the Midland Railroad Hotel in Wilson.
Get signed up.
Yeah.
Contact the
Yeah,
contact
get
the
your room.
hotel themselves.
yeah,
Book your room.
because it doesn't happen unless we book it out. So
Yeah.
we have to book it all out again.
And plus, they fill up fast, those rooms do, because
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah, and they're
Same
actually
amount.
guys talking, and it's confusing because it's kind of a every year we do this, it changes back and forth, and they're actually wanting us like 20 days in advance to have this thing done. So if it's something you think you're going to call a week prior, it may be too late. So
Yeah.
we've got, if you're going to call within the next couple weeks and
Yeah.
book it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Yep. Well, there's some other stuff sprinkled in there too. You got
Yeah.
October every Friday night. You have
Friday night and then the last weekend, and do Friday and Saturday on that last
Yeah.
Saturday of the month.
you have what?
The Wichita Ghost Tour. Sorry, the Wichita Ghost Tour. It's a bus tour that take you around to all the hauntings around Wichita. Try to get most of them in.
Yeah.
There seems to be more that pop up every once in a while, but I wish I could talk about residential homes while we're doing it, but you can't do that. So, yeah.
Who says you can't?
I know. I kind of break the rules
No,
and
I
tell
know.
stories in either way. But
Yeah, and you want to make sure we found out through other tours, not necessarily around here, but across wherever, that they're putting things out there that may or may not be haunted. Or the owners
Yeah.
themselves, like, my house is on the tour, what the hell? It's
Yeah.
not haunted.
Yeah.
And it's not just a ghost tour. There's a place in Kansas City that, I won't say who it is, but they're notoriously, supposedly haunted, and they put on their website, disclaimer, we are not haunted. Do not come here looking for ghosts. You'll be turned away. If there's any kind of tour that you're on and you pay for it, your ticket will not be honored here. Do not come bug us. You will be asked to leave and all this stuff. It's just like, okay.
But you look up like most haunted in this area,
Yeah.
and it pops up.
Yep.
There's so many people that have stories to it.
Yep.
But the hotel, no.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
I don't know if they've changed ownership or it could be
Is
just
it
a
the
new
Drury?
manager.
Is it the Drury?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
We got a place like here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you think about it, probably every place is haunted. Honestly, I mean, it's like saying that we're only the people in the world. I mean, planet Earth is the only thing that has living creatures. I mean, if you're that shallow, closed-minded, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's on you. But
Yeah.
David, looks like David was asking if we know how many tickets are left in Nest City. Have you heard?
No, I need
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
email.
Okay.
I haven't got a chance to.
probably plenty, so enough. I mean, I wouldn't wait too much longer because it's getting closer. So
Yeah.
it will sell out. It always does. And yeah, you definitely don't want to take a chance. Same thing with Wilson. It always sells out when we do this. Make sure you don't sit around too long because people hear ghosts. Like, I want to go. I want to do this. We see them all the time on the post. They start tagging people. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And it'll go
It's
fast.
starting to happen.
So don't wait too much longer if you can. So anything else? Anyone?
I think that's it.
Cool.
Good.
Cool. Well, like I said, we do have a lot of exciting things behind the scenes in the works. I mean, from here till even next year already, it's just like, holy crap! It never stops, which is great. I mean, that's why we do this. But
Right.
people are saying, when are you gonna come out and do this? When can you do this? Hey, I need you to. It's like, I don't physically have time because we do have lives. Some of us, anyways. I mean, maybe not.
Some
me, but-
semblance thereof.
Yeah. We do have families. We do have full-time jobs on top of this job. So
Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah.
Some of them never stop.
I know, right? But like I said, we appreciate everybody at home that tunes into this show every Sunday night. We take time 2 hours out of our schedule to give you this program because it's fun for us. I mean, we hear stories like that, and
It's a fun
yeah,
reliever from
yeah,
work and all that crap.
definitely. And it's not always paranormal. It could be anything. We talked last week about Bigfoot, Sasquatch. We were talking about UFOs.
We have Ruth on here every week. So.
only by contract we have to. So.
I just got a text actually from Allie. I don't know. She must have shown up on another site to see and didn't do the where you log in through Gmail. But she saw the Bigfoot juice. So yeah, pretty awesome.
We're not kidding about it, yeah. We're here for you, so. But no, like I said, it's gonna be an interesting another year probably here. We're gonna still be doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We're just getting started on a bunch of stuff, so
We shall not sleep for the next 90 days. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no such thing as sleep in our field. So, but I think it's almost that time, guys. Make sure people at home, like I said, like the page, subscribe to it, get notified,
Share it.
share it.
Share it.
Yep.
Share it.
What do we always say? Tell your friends, tell your loved ones,
Your mistresses.
your mistresses, tell the grandma, tell the stranger,
Tell random
everybody.
Just random people. you
Yeah,
don't
just grab
even
some.
know.
Hey, you're about cryptic. Anyways, yeah, definitely get the word out there because we have so much fun. And if you know anything, like I said, any subjects at home you want to hear about, email us, talk to us, let us know. Call us, whatever. We're always game to talk about anything and everything. And
We want to hear your experiences as well.
yeah,
Shoot us an email. Throw us anything up on our pages. We'll get back and we'll talk about it.
Right.
yep. So definitely awesome. Well,
All right.
Maestro, gonna take us out.
Well, I mean, you already done all the hard work, so
But we'll back next week with another live and exciting Cryptic Heartland podcast, 7 to 9 Central Standard Time. A lot of people tune into Facebook. It's a little easier, but we also have the YouTube feed.
Mm-hmm.
And after the episode's over, you can go back and watch it. It'll go up directly on both pages, so definitely watch it and shit.
Yep. Next week,
something.
did you guys talk about next week?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you said that. No, we did not.
We have a very special guest on next week, Marie D. Jones. She's the author of several books, and she's done a lot of other stuff on various, a lot of different paranormal topics. So
I think she's got some work that's in production right now.
Yep.
She's writing for, so.
Yep.
Yep. It's more of a nonfiction, or all of her stuff is nonfiction, or the majority of it anyway. But she's got a. Well, I better not say anything about it because I don't know how much we can talk about. But yeah, some exciting stuff, and really excited about next week's interview. So
that's awesome.
Definitely can't wait.
Yeah, we'll put a post up announcing that, and
It's good time.
it'll
be cool. I'm excited about it.
I'm too. Yeah.
So.
Me too.
Definitely. So people at home think about some questions. You never know. We're gonna have. Like I said, she's very, very smart and gifted, and she knows what she's talking about. So to bring our A game next week, boys.
Yes.
So definitely. So I think that's it.
All right.
Good night.
We'll see
You guys
later.
have a good week. Be safe tomorrow on Labor Day. Don't burn anything down, and don't drink too much. If you do, just don't drive.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all next week.